Prepare to qualify.
What's going on, race fans? It's Troy with Prepare to Qualify. Thanks so much for joining us here today. It's Saturday. We're 1 week into the season, and we've already got 2 races completed. Unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought? Of all the off seasons that, IndyCar fans, including myself, went crazy with all the things that we were suggesting that IndyCar, needs to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? They're finally doing it. And boy, is it paying off. I am just in heaven watching my little child that I have nurtured and, directed and sent to the best schools my whole life, hoping that one day they would make it into the big time. And guess what? They have made it. When you look at last week's race in St. Pete with all the media coverage and just the vibe around the whole thing, and as many people that were out there on Friday and Saturday, last weekend in Florida, and then you add that to the doubleheader race with NASCAR this weekend in Phoenix. And I just think the whole thing's been a hit so far. And like I said, we just started the season. We're already finished with 2 races, and we have a championship on our hands here. We have a championship to decide. I'm sure Alex Palou will eventually take over, just like he did last race. But it sure was kind of nice, and I don't want to see anybody get knocked out of the race, for no reason. But it was kind of nice not having to worry about Alex Palou driving up and taking the win, and just seeing what some other guys could do. And boy, did the other guys put on a show. Between Christian Rasmussen and Will Power coming from all the way in the back to the front, to the Team Penske guys, the Malukas and Newgarden being on the front row, or I think they started 1-2. And then, having some other competitors come along during the way that showed some speed. Pato Award did a pretty good job. Scott Dixon at times was up there. Mitch Schumacher, if he, I think he had a pit stop issue. If he wouldn't have had that issue, he'd have been right up there. Marcus Armstrong drove a great race today. And, we're going to look at the race, but we're also going to look at just the vibe. And like I said, the momentum and, where we are going into the next few races. And boy, I'm really excited. There's nothing better than, is there really anything that could be better? I don't think so, than watching Indy cars on a short oval with a weird configuration like Phoenix. It was just perfect. To watch the way the cars were drafting on each other, whether they were deciding, on whether to go to the inside or the outside. I definitely think passing on the inside probably would have been a better idea in some of the cases, because that's where a lot of the crashes occurred, was up against the wall. So if you passed on the outside, you were definitely, at a disadvantage at times. But, that was the area that was open on the track. And that was another great thing too, is that I think the drivers used almost all of the track today. Just watching that, it kind of reminded me of Texas Motor Speedway. Not quite as fast, but just, wide open. And, the handling of your car, the tires, the pit stops were super important. But all in all, Josef Newgarden, one of my favorite drivers. I'm a Team Penske guy. I lived in North Carolina for a while and got, when you live up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're not a NASCAR fan, it is not easy. And so just having Team Penske headquartered in Mooresville, North Carolina, really helped me get through that period of time. And, it just gave me something to do. And I would go to the Team Penske shop all the time, go to the gift shop. Like I said, I've toured it a few times here and there. So, yeah, congratulations, Team Penske, on your 60th anniversary. What a better way to get that anniversary started by Josef Newgarden, just driving, I wouldn't say from out of nowhere, because he started, right up at the front, but, he really wasn't, in contention up until about the last 10 or 15 laps. And boy, when it was time to go, he really went. And so today we're going to talk about, the business of IndyCar. That's what this podcast is about. That's what my whole life I've been working towards was to try to get IndyCar back to where it was in the 80s and the 90s. And, listening to NASCAR radio this week, I was traveling, so I was able to listen to a lot of NASCAR fans. And, I have to give them credit. I mean, they're really good people. They're great race fans. They care a lot about the sport, and they care a lot about other racing series. I mean, they were really excited that IndyCar was coming to Phoenix. I heard a lot of them talking about they were about to get on a plane, or they were about to get in their car, truck, or whatever, and head to Phoenix. I mean, they were really excited. And the crowd today was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't sold out or anything like that, but, for a Saturday crowd, it was really good, especially being the first race. I mean, I think if the IndyCar race would have been the second race, this evening, I think that they probably would have drawn a little bit better. But the O'Reilly Series is racing right now, and I watch the O'Reilly Series every week. I watch the Cup Series every week. I mean, I'm a happier person now that I've embraced other forms of motorsports, where they interviewed some of the old-time IndyCar drivers, some of the old-time NASCAR drivers that used to come across each other, back and forth in the day. And, in the 80s and 90s, you either picked one or the other, and especially early 2000s when NASCAR really popularity just exploded. But you were either one or the other. You picked one. Well, that didn't really serve IndyCar very well, because NASCAR ended up taking over and was and still is one of the most popular sports in the whole United States of America. And I just want IndyCar to be back to where, I think that race fans are able to see it and able to watch it, able to enjoy some of the nuances that IndyCar races, especially, on an oval, brings to the table. Because, boy, like I said, there just isn't anything better than watching IndyCars, especially 25 of them. I mean, I'm from back in the day when the 90s, there were times or early 2000s when the split happened, where, there might have been 16, 18 cars on the grid. And on a really big oval, that spreads out pretty fast. But to have 25 cars on the grid today, watching some of the crazy racing that we're watching with Rasmussen and Will Power, Arenas VK and Alex Palou, there were incidents, there was a strategy. I mean, all in all, I thought it was a great race. And I think IndyCar really showed that it is, it's to remain at the top of the motorsports ladder. I mean, and if it's not there right now, then, I think everything's going in the right direction. I mean, people, like YouTubers, like me and a lot of the people that I've followed, social media influencers, IndyCar, the C-suite, obviously Roger Penske and Penske Entertainment, the people, the marketing department, promotions at IndyCar, everyone's kind of on the same page for once. And that's such a great feeling. It's so nice to see my little child that I have reared my whole life. Now I'm letting it go, and it's flourishing in the world by itself. It doesn't need me, but that's okay, because I'm doing this because I love the sport and I want to continue to see it grow. And here is the bottom line. If you think that, well, now's the time to take your foot off the gas, if you're an IndyCar fan, and just sit back and enjoy it, well, then you better think again, because Arlington is going to be great. And speaking of Java House, I want to give a shout out to Good Ranchers. The Good Ranchers beef, chicken, pork products. Boy, they were on display this weekend in Phoenix, and they were a great sponsor of the race today. They had their commercials on the side-by-side. Fox did a great job to where we didn't miss any of the action, but we got to see the commercials, and their commercials looked great. I mean, I was starving by the end of the race, just looking at all the steaks and all the things they were cooking on the grill. So yeah, Good Ranchers sponsored the race, and you know what? They did a great job, and they also put their name out there so that people can order food from them, and that's the bottom line. I mean, if someone spends the money to sponsor a race, then we want to give them business. So, IndyCar fans, let's, get online, go to goodranchers.com and order some packages of beef and other types of meats and things like that you can grill out. I mean, with summer coming up, I mean, who doesn't want to have some good steaks and chicken and chicken breast and things like that to make over the holidays when it comes to Memorial Day, especially in May, you know, because of the Indy 500. You know, it'll be a great thing to have. So go ahead and get that going. Thank you again to Good Ranchers. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about what I want to talk about are the liveries for the first couple of races. And I wanted to do like a top 10 or top 12. I mean, since we have 25 cars full time, I think 12 would be good. And since that's the way kind of the qualifying format in IndyCar is, with the top 12 dropping down to the fast 6 and then going from the pole, I figured I'd come up with the top 12 liveries for this year's season and you know, rank them and see what you think, because to me, you know, that's the thing that gets people interested in IndyCar. That's the thing that's different. You know, okay. So I was gonna do this by team. And, you know, the first team is obviously going to be Team Penske because they're the 2 and the 3 and the 12 car. And I don't know what it is about the 12 car this year with Verizon. I don't like the color scheme I mean, it's okay. I'm not just a huge fan of the red and the yellow on the number 12 car for Verizon. I kind of like the silver Verizon car that Will Power used to drive, or the black and white one, or black, red, and white one. You know, that one looks pretty good. I've seen all black one before, but anyways, it's okay. But I really like that the Gallagher colors and scheme that Scott McLaughlin drove today. And then I really like the Xpel Chevrolet that Josef Newgarden drove to victory today. I love the paint scheme on that. So to me, if you're going to rank the Penske cars, I would say Josef Newgarden and his liveries are number 1, and then Scott McLaughlin's are number 2. So there's 2 cars there. I'm not really going to put David Malukas' number 12 in there right yet, just because I don't know. I don't really like it. It doesn't pop as well as the other Verizon cars do. Then if we go to Chip Ganassi Racing, and we look at obviously the champ, Alex Palou, and the DHL car. You know, this year now that they're taking some of that red away and put more just yellow. And I think the yellow's brighter too. I mean, it definitely pops. You can see it on the race course. You can see the number on the back. You know, that's another thing too when you're coming up with these liveries. You know, we want to know what the brand is of the main sponsor so that we can read it, and we also want to know what the number is of the car. So if you can see that while the car's going around the track, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a hot option. So I think Alex Palou, his number 10 car is definitely going to be in the top 12. Kyffin Simpson with the new Sunoco livery, I mean, that's got to be in there. That's still one of the best looking cars out there. And it's got a lot of history with it, with IndyCar. There's been a lot of Sunocos and Sun Oil Company liveries over the past 50 years. And Kyffin Simpson, you know, bringing that brand back has really been nice. So I'm going to put Alex Palou, number 10, and number 8, Kyffin Simpson in the top 12. And then if we go to McLaren, I really think the number 5 in Pato Award still has that classic arrow look. I love the way arrow is spelled out on the side of the car. It just looks great. I mean, to me, that's the best looking one. I like Christian Lundgaard's okay. It obviously looks just as good. It's just a little bit different on where the orange and the black are, or the papaya and black are. Nolan Siegel's NTT data doesn't really go too well with the papaya orange, so I'm gonna leave that one out of there. And you know, I mean, I'm pulling for Nolan Siegel more than anybody. I want him to do well so bad. He's had some good runs and then some bad luck, and you know, I just want him to be consistent. I think he qualified well today. I'm not sure where he ended up finishing, but I think he had an okay day, so that's good. Also, Christian Lundgaard, you know, had a pretty decent day too for a short oval for him. So, but the only one of the 3 McLaren cars, and they all look great. I mean, and people love the colors, and the branding is obviously there because people wear the McLaren colors as far as we go to IndyCar race more than really any other team out there. But Pato Awards number 5 is definitely going to be the mainstay. After that, I was going to go to the, to Andretti Global, and look at their liveries. Their liveries are pretty much the same with the number 27 and the 28, Kyle Kirkwood and Marcus Ericsson. They're kind of interchangeable. The color is a little bit different. Obviously, you got the Delaware Life Allegra sponsorship with Marcus Ericsson. With Kyle Kirkwood, you have the Siemens, and then the JM Bullion, the gold company that was on the car this weekend. I like those okay, but they don't really stand out that well. I do like the Delaware Life Allegra car for Marcus Ericsson a little bit better than Kyle Kirkwood's, so I'm going to put that one in there. And then Will Power's car with the TWG-AI on it. I mean, those colors look really well. I mean, I could see that car from anywhere I was watching the race today. I mean, you definitely know where Will Power is on the course, and so I like that. You see the number really well. Well, I mean, really, that's Colton Herta's car from last year, or similar. So the color scheme is pretty much the same. It's just that there's a different sponsor on there. Besides Gamebridge, where it's TWGAI, and the way that the stripe, takes up the yellow stripe takes up the whole entire front part of the car, looks really good too. So I really like that one. So I'm going to put the number 26 Will Power and number 28 Marcus Ericsson in the top 12. Then, just a few one-offs here and there. We got Meyer Shank Racing. As much as I love the idea of the Sirius XM channels that are promoted during the races for individual bands or artists or whatever that, were big enough to where they have their own channel on Sirius XM. I mean, a lot of times you really just can't tell what the car is saying. I mean, I looked at that car 5 times today in the race and was like, is that Rosenquist? Is that Rosenquist? I couldn't see the number on the back. I couldn't tell what it said on it. It's just a bunch of paint and letters and numbers and pictures and whatever. I mean, if you see the car up close, yeah, you can tell what it is, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, but on the track, you have no idea. So I'm not really going to put that one on there, even though I like it and so does everybody else. But for the most part, Marcus Armstrong's car now with the Root Insurance livery, that looks really good. So I love the white and the green on it. I think it's green. I'm colorblind, but I'll check into that. It's just one of those things. I mean, other than me colorblind though, I mean, I'm relatively perfect as an individual. Everybody's got to have a few shortcomings, and one of mine is being colorblind. But I love that Root Insurance livery on Marcus Armstrong's car, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the top 12. Then if you go to Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, I noticed that Graham Rahal, number 15, got a sponsor that maybe I hadn't seen before. It's WWEX Group, and it's a logistics company that owns a bunch of different brands of trucking companies, logistics companies, that, can ship if you own a business, can help ship your goods, anywhere in the world, by using different companies, different brands, all under one umbrella. And that's what the WWEX Group is. And I'll go into that a little bit more detail in a future episode, but they signed on as a big sponsor for the number 15. So I'm not sure. I think United Rentals is still on the car, and that may be the main sponsor for like the Indy 500, but this WWEX Group has purchased the rights to be the main sponsor for pretty much the entire year. So thank you to them, and I'll definitely do some more research and let you guys know about them so we can look out for that brand. That car looks okay right now. Of all 3 cars, Mick Schumacher's number 47 is a company that's called ENVE Composites, and they make bikes, road bikes that are really light and strong. And so Mick Schumacher is sponsored by them. I think he's a big bike rider too. So it's a good partnership. It goes together well. Louis Foster in the number 45 car has a company called Droplight as their sponsor, and they're a marketing firm that helps brands they're based out of the Midwest, around the Indianapolis area. So that's what this channel is about, is it's not only seeing the growth of the series, but also helping the companies and causes that are helping fund the growth of the series, help them make more money, increase revenue, or brand awareness, or whatever it is that their goal is, and is to help IndyCar move that goal forward. And the more we can do that, if companies start putting their name on our cars and then they see a return on their investment, well, guess what? They're gonna pay more often to be a sponsor, and they're gonna talk. These CEOs, even though I'm not one of them, never been one of them, nor would I ever want to be one of them. They talk and they hang out together. They play golf together. They run in the same social circles. And so if one of them says, hey, we spent $3 or $4 million to have our brand put on the side of a car for one of the IndyCar races, and man, it's been great. We got to go to the race. We got to meet our driver. We got to bring some of our clients there. They got to, get up close to the cars. And basically it was a win-win situation for everyone. Well, that gets around, and more companies are going to want to do the same thing. So, that is one of the reasons why that it's fun, looking at the different paint schemes and liveries of the cars, looking at the companies that are paying, how long they're paying. It's just interesting because it definitely gives you an idea of the temperature of the sport, how things are going, if they're going in the right direction. One of the other liveries I did notice was the number 76, Renus VK. Number 76 for 76, the gas station, Unical 76, I think was the name of the gas stations. And that's, I think that's part of the AMPM group that Connor Daly has been working with. That Renus VK now drives for Hunkos Hollinger Racing, and their sponsor Arco looks great on the car, man. I mean, that is a classic gas fuel company on the side of the car with a brand that people recognize. It's a brand that's been around a long time. And so I think Renus VK's car looked great this weekend. So I'm going to put him in the top 12 too. So now that we have the top 12 liveries of the early in the 2026 season, I'm going to go ahead and rank them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. Just to wrap up everything, I've got the top 12 liveries from the opening of the 2026 season. Number 12, I have the Delaware Life Allegra Honda. Number 28 for Marcus Ericsson. Like I said, I don't really love the Andretti paint schemes, but I don't hate them either. And I like the black wheels with this car and Will Power's car as well. The black wheels with the stripe, and you can see the number really well. So I'm going to go ahead and have the Delaware Life Honda for Marcus Ericsson, number 12. Number 11, the Gallagher Chevrolet for Scott McLaughlin. Today, it looks great. I love that livery. I love the logo, the color, the blue, the blue and white. It just goes well together for the number 3. So I'm going to have that as number 11. Number 10 is the PNC Bank Honda, a mainstay in the IndyCar series. It's been the same livery, changes color a little bit every once in a while, from more orange to more green, I think. But the number 9 for Scott Dixon, PNC Bank, that is a great livery, and it's always going to be in the top 10. It's been around for a long time. The number 9 is the Root Insurance Honda for Marcus Armstrong. I think that livery looks great. Just the whole brand Root, R-O-O-T, just on the side. It's easy to see. You can see it really well with the black wheels and the white on the top. I really like that livery. Meyershank did a really good job with that one. And let's see, number 8, I'm going to go ahead and give that to Renus VK and the Arco Chevrolet, whether it was him or Hunkos Hollinger or Connor Daly. Somehow they got the AMPM 76 station Arco fuel livery put on that number 76 car, and it looks great. So more liveries like that. Those are the kind that just look like a classic race car from, no matter what era that you're looking at. It just looks good. So I'm going to give that the number 8 nod for Arco Chevrolet Juncos Hollinger Racing for Rita's VK. Number 7, the Sunoco Honda for Kyffin Simpson. Just not that it shouldn't be number 1, but since it's brand new, I just had to put it kind of in the middle. But one of my favorites, obviously, and it looks great. I mean, everyone's talked about it when it was announced. It really was impressive. Number 6, I'm going to give to Willpower and the TWG AI number 26. I think the colors on that look really good. The big stripe around the front, just the TWG is easy to see. The number 26 with the black wheels, I think it looks great. I like the Cambridge Honda that was driven from by Colton Herta, but I don't know. I kind of like just this one a little bit better. The TWG is easier to read, and the car just looks a little bit better on track. It's easier to find and follow. So that was, let's see, number 6. So we're at number 5. I'm going to give number 5 to the Xpel. It's an X and then a PEL afterwards. And that is the Chevrolet for Josef Newgarden. Won the race today, number 2. I think the livery pretty much changes on that car every week. I don't really like that too much, but hey, if I'm collecting money for Team Penske, I'd be just fine with it. So, if companies want to put a different one on there every week, that's fine. But I do really like the one that won the race today. I thought it was classic looking Team Penske Xpel livery on there with the colors, white on the top and yellow on the bottom, or it could be green. I can never tell the difference with that, but anyways, that one I really liked. So number 4, we didn't really mention, but Santino, Ferucci, and the AJ Foyt team, they're number 14. homesforourtroops.org looks great. I mean, it's an American flag basically with 4 wheels on it, and the number 14 looks great on the back wing. I mean, anytime you can put the number 14 on any race car, to me, it's a winner. So I love that car. I'm going to go ahead and give that one the number 4 nod. Number 3, I'm going to give that one to Alexander Rossi in the Java House Chevrolet for Ed Carpenter Racing. I like Christian Rasmussen's car with the Splenda on the side. I love both brands, Java House and Splenda, but I really think that the Alexander Rossi's car looks a little bit better with the black around the outside on the side pods. It looks a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to see, but I really like both those cars, but I only put one in there, the number 20. So the number 2 car I'm going to have as the Aero McLaren number 5, the Pato Awards car. I mean, that classic looking Aero logo on the side pod with the McLaren papaya orange is just a great livery. You can see the number 5 really well. I mean, all 3 of the cars look great, but Pato's car looks to me the best, and so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there as number 2. And, with all the merchandise sales that they get, I mean, there's obviously something to that paint, that scheme, and that's really important. But I do like the way that all 3 Andretti cars and all 3 McLaren cars have very similar liveries. They change up little things on them, a brand here, a color there. But I like the way that you can tell any one of their 3 cars anytime you look on the track, because they look the same. And then the number 1 pole position it just has to be Alex Palou and the DHL Honda. I mean, I've heard the name DHL Honda so many times within the last 5 to 6 years, just because every time Alex Palou wins, he's always like, yeah, today in the DHL Honda, we had a great day and the team did a great job. It just sounds great. DHL Honda, number 10, you can see it a mile away, there's no doubt, and it's coming to the front. I love the colors. I love the fact that it's stable. One thing I will mention about the number 10 is that the Solo Cup company is going to go ahead and sponsor a couple of races this year. I think they announced a couple of weeks ago. So that is big time. I love that livery. I love the red, and it just, went together really well. So thank you to Solo for stepping up and sponsoring some more races. Obviously as the season goes on, these are going to change. Some of them are going to, remain basically similar every week in and week out, maybe change a few things, and some are going to change completely. I mean, we won't even recognize the car at the end of the year other than being able to look at the number on the back wing or on the front of the car. One thing I do wish about our liveries and IndyCar is that maybe we put a little bit more emphasis on the number on the side of the car so you can see it a little bit better when you're looking at the livery and the brands that they're trying to promote. Sometimes the number on the back of the wing, you can just barely see it, and it makes it difficult, especially when some of the cars look similar, like the number 20 and the number 21, or the number 27 and 28. It's really nice to be able to see that number. So I think it's important for the people designing these paint schemes to do a little bit better job of putting the number on the car, especially on the side that you can see it. That helps with the branding. I mean, nobody's going to have their favorite driver, be number 9 and not be able to see the number 9 on the side of the car. I mean, that's just an important thing. I mean, you ask people with NASCAR, Formula One, you can't really see their number very much anyways, but you can definitely tell which cars are which. But on IndyCar, like I said, some of the cars look the same. The numbers are important. I just think that maybe we could do a little bit better job accentuating what the number of the car. And other than that, I can't be any happier. The fact that we're getting a new chassis in a couple of years is going to make it even better. Hopefully it'll make some of these liveries look even better by making the brand stand out. But yeah, on one of my next videos, I definitely want to get with one of the teams and have them show me, and I'll do a video showing the steps of how they paint these cars, how they wrap them, how they design them, how long it takes. What's to say if you had a race on Sunday and a new sponsor came in on Friday, could you still get the car, ready with the correct livery, with the new brands? Yeah, they can do that. They can do that fast. It takes them basically a day or so to paint one of these cars, and that's unbelievable to me. I want to see how they do it. So that's going to be in one of my next videos. If you're going to Arlington next week for the Grand Prix of Arlington, Java House Grand Prix of Arlington, please watch my previous video. It'll give you kind of a overview of the Arlington area and what to look for when you're going to the race next weekend. I hope there's a great crowd out there. I know I'm going to be out there. Looking forward to that. Can you believe the first 3 weeks of the season, we're going to have 3 races right in a row? How awesome is that? So thank you to IndyCar and everyone that's putting the schedule together. There's still some work to be done, obviously, with a lot of this stuff, but it's all going in the right direction. And as an IndyCar fan, I think this is the happiest I've ever been in my life. And, I like being happy. So thank you to everyone who's watched this. I appreciate it so much. If you want to like, the video and subscribe to it, eventually one day I'm going to really need to start looking at that kind of stuff. But right now, just trying to get a little bit better every week or so that I make these videos, try to put some things out that are a little different than what other people are doing, focusing more on the business of IndyCar, and the business is going well. So hey, everybody have a great week. We got another race coming up next weekend, so I'm super excited about it. I'll see you guys from out in Arlington at the Grand Prix, and thank you again for watching. Take care.
Prepare to qualify.